Greetings and welcome to Mount Rushmore podcast. I'm Jeff, and I'm joined as always by my good buddies Richard.
Hello.
And Michael.
Howdy.
And these guys like to debate and deliberate the most ubiquitous aspects of a variety of topics. And this time around, we're talking about the Mount Rushmore of second-tier U.S. holiday celebrations. Jeff, you chose this. Why? Well, just because they're, you never go see anybody post on Target or on Facebook. Oh my God, the Arbor Day decorations are already there.
Let's go back to this Target post. I love the idea of somewhat like a social media website just being like based around Target.
Target. That'd be so fun. Hey.
Just someone accidentally shows up like on your screen like wearing a red shirt, but they don't work there, but someone's asking them something.
You friend me on Walmart. You never see somebody post on Facebook, oh man, they've already got Arbor Day decorations up at Target.
It's not even Cesar Chavez.
That's not. Yeah. But there's all these great holidays that they don't. It's not their fault they're not Christmas or Halloween or Easter. But so we're going to talk about the Mount Rushmore of second tier holidays. And Richard started last time, so Michael's going to start this time. And do not be confused, because last time we talked about limited run fast food items, which in a way are a cause for celebration.
McRib Day is actually a holiday in several states.
It is.
And by the way, and we should try to define what makes it a second tier holiday.
Okay.
Is there anything? Well, I guess we will as we go along. I should point out that one of the ones I researched, I'm not doing anything that's like a garbage, awful holiday, because there are things like Jefferson Davis Day in Alabama.
Oh yeah.
Where state workers actually get the day off to celebrate Confederate President Jefferson Davis.
Wow.
And if you ever want to ask me why I don't want to move to the South, there's a pretty good start for an answer right there. So I will not be talking about any of those sort of garbage holidays.
Okay. Well, here in Florida, we have White Robe Cleaning Day. They don't say what it's about really, but
Pointy Hat Day.
I guess maybe a characteristic is you don't get it off work, and you don't maybe see cards for it on the rack at the at Target, which is also social media. So those are maybe a couple indicators, but
I have one choice that might have a red flag being thrown at it, but
okay,
we'll get to it when we get there.
And then the celebration aspect of it is kind of what I'm interested in, like kind of what that looks like. So why don't we jump in with Michael's first?
So I ranked mine from kind of worst to
okay.
I guess I wouldn't even say best, because none of them are great, but like the worst one on my list is definitely Groundhog Day.
Okay.
Where this thing that is celebrated mostly by one town in one state, and the rest of the country watches see something that is predicted by like forensic meteorologists.
Yeah.
And then they, I don't know, put all the troubles and the causality on this one dumbass groundhog. What? Who cares?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously there's a lot of fun built into it with the Bill Murray movie, but like, I mean, has this groundhog ever been wrong? Do we even know? Is anybody fact checking what 6 more weeks of winter does or doesn't look like? I don't know. With climate change, are we going to go to some other animal that comes out of the ground? Is it like some, you talked about weird animals last week. I don't know. Is there like an animal in Australia that is a better predictor that lives in the outback that can tell us whether we're going to have winter for 6 more weeks? I don't know. But it's just like this crummy holiday. It's not even a holiday. It's just this crummy celebration of, I don't know if the results have ever been good. I can't remember the last time that they pulled out this goddamn mouse and they've been like, nope, 6 less weeks of winter. It's always the same. It's always like 6 more weeks of winter, and you're like, oh, okay.
Well, of course it's 6 more weeks of winter. It's like central Pennsylvania. It's cold there year round.
I would say that there are aspects of that holiday that are about as legit as daylight savings time. Like, why? Why? I know that's not a holiday, but it is a seasonal thing that we change and impacts everybody. And they talk about on the radio stations and stuff like that. And then, as misplaced as the Easter Bunny is distributing eggs, so is the groundhog as a prognosticator of weather. There's stuff that's pretty stupid about that, but they kind of seem. I think the fact that DJs, radio people talk about it, and then they talk about it on the news and stuff like that makes it, I think, definitely second tier holiday. Okay, man, Freddie, what do you got?
My first choice is Earth Day.
Oh yeah, fuck the Earth.
No.
Yeah, I can get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
No, I appreciate the concept behind Earth Day. I also appreciate that we all look at it and say, Earth Day is a day that we should celebrate doing good things for the environment. And then about 2 days later, we're back to driving our SUVs,
Yeah.
sucking down using our non-recyclable straws to suck down our big gulps.
Mm-hmm.
It's empty.
Yeah.
It's a way for us to feel like that we are doing something by raising awareness. But awareness isn't going to save the ozone layer.
Mm-hmm.
Awareness isn't going to stop climate change.
Mm-hmm.
It really takes people doing things in their everyday lives and not just sort of making gestures once a year. And so Earth Day's always kind of been like, well, I get it, but really, who celebrates it?
And it's unlike Hug Your Dentist Day. Like, if we didn't hug our dentist, it would make no difference. But Earth Day is like it's the ride that got us here and it's taken us home. It's the most important thing.
It's also the smuggest holiday of all.
Yeah.
It's the holiday that really wants to make sure that you understand that it's better and more environmentally friendly than other holidays.
Disney could only do weird stuff with Earth Month because Earth Day was like copyrighted or something like that, and they didn't want to pay to use it. But Earth Month is when they would trot out Jane Goodall, or like these people that they paid millions of dollars to. And so, the pretentiousness was pretty thick. At the same time, they're employing sweatshops in Singapore to sew Mickey ears and dumping toxic chemicals into the river.
Right.
Yeah.
No, and John Easdale from Dramarama. Of course, they wrote the song "What Are We Gonna Do," which starts off with it's April 21st, and everyone knows today is Earth Day. Turns out that Earth Day is not actually April 21st. I think it's like April 22nd. Because he was asked to do a song while he was playing a show that was like the 20th anniversary of Earth Day. Asked to write something for Earth Day specifically, and he kind of agreed to it. Then realized, what the hell? I don't know anything about Earth Day. This is stupid. So just threw some lyrics on there. Didn't bother nobody bothered to fact check a Dramarama song, which we all should for obvious reasons. And this is what you get.
I wonder if Elton John was sitting there saying, "I would have rewrote "Candle in the Wind" again."
Yeah.
Like, goodbye, planet Earth.
Earth Day is the best because that's when like Ed Begley Jr. really can just he can just really feel himself in every state. He's out there on his recumbent bicycle, and he's just doing things. He's at every farmer's market in the nation. He goes to every one on Earth Day, and is just there to promote something he's doing.
Ed Begley Day is what they should call it.
Yeah.
All right, Winfield, your second one is what?
Okay, my second one, this is where I might have gotten hung up a little bit in the wording of the challenge to this week. Second tier U.S. holiday celebrations. And we all love the 4th of July, don't we?
Yeah.
Guys?
Sure.
We love the fireworks. We love grilling. We love being with friends. Maybe a pool's involved. The second tier aspect is Nathan's hot dog eating contest, which it's this thing. It's part of this main holiday, but it's like a sub category within it. So I thought to myself, I don't know if this counts or not, and I'll let Jeff decide. But it's this thing that we all tune in for, or kind of nascently find out about who won. Usually it's the same guy.
It's Joey Chestnut every year. Spoiler alert. Now
Or,
that there's no Kobayashi.
Did he eat himself to death? Did he retire from eating hot dogs?
There is an ESPN 30 for 30 like mini documentary about the rivalry between Kobayashi and Joey Chestnut. And Kobayashi it was a contractual issue, which is why he does not eat in the United States anymore competitively.
Wow.
I don't know if he may eat just as on his own.
Everyone does recreational hot dog eating. Sure, I do that from now and then. But it's this weird thing that's tied to this overall other holiday, which is celebrating freedom and independence, and then it's just like these assholes cramming hot dogs and dunking buns in cups of water to goes down their throat easier, and just this disgusting display of eating that I don't know. It's like they only do it on this day, and this is like this big event for this very specific person and type of people. And I've read a little bit about the history and how it started in like 1972, but they tried to claim that it started like 80 years before in like 1916 and made up this like fantastic fake history, which feels very American, that they're like, okay, well, we pump this thing up. And it's not just like you go and you eat 7 hot dogs on a 4th of July in 1972, but just make believe that this has been going on for 50 years before that, when it hadn't. There might have been something, but nothing regular. And for maybe 40 years or so, or 50 years, it's been this, I don't know, this very American thing to be so gluttonous, to express your patriotism via, I don't know, horking down wieners.
Mm-hmm. That's very interesting. That I do feel like that's so kind of in search of a judgment. I think that's an interesting aspect of Splinter. It's a second tier celebration, that's for sure. And it's not necessarily 4th of July is not necessarily a second tier holiday, but it does seem like in such kind of an obtuse way to observe it, because you look at the like the website for Nathan's. There's not like a firework to be seen or anything like that. There's nobody in an Uncle Sam costume standing there shoving hot dogs in people's mouths or anything like that. So, yeah, very interesting, and you paint a very vivid picture there. And the hot dog, that's maybe the most German food there is too. Like the Frankfurter. Come on, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what's an American food they could be eating?
A hamburger. Oh, wait. Hold on a second.
Oh, wait a second.
Pizza. Wait. Hold on a second. The McRib. There we go. A McRib eating contest.
Manfredi, what's your second?
All right. So hear me out. Before you jump down my throats on this one.
Oh, boy.
Like a hot dog.
Much like a hot dog being regurgitated.
Dunked in water.
Veterans Day. And I am not here to shit on Veterans Day. In fact, I'm here to celebrate Veterans Day. The reason I have it on my list is because every year I feel bad for the living veterans here in the United States who are being honored during Veterans Day, because we don't make a big enough deal out of Veterans Day compared to Memorial Day. And I'm not here to say that we shouldn't make a big deal out of Memorial Day, because obviously people who have fallen in the service of our country deserve our respect and admiration. But how about some love for the people who, are still here to receive that love and admiration?
Except for like the Coast Guard.
Well, yes, obviously those guys can fuck off. The Merchant Marines.
The ones that have been eaten by octopuses or whatever.
Yeah.
But no, I wanted to throw it out there and this is not me sucking up to the military.
Play the missive in the background. Play the.
No,
it is a shame that Nathan's does their shit on a shingle eating contest. Every Father's Day too. Come on, guys.
The MRE eating contest is. Right. No, I wish we made as big a deal of our living veterans as we did for our ones who are no longer here, because I think they're here to actually appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know why Memorial Day. Maybe it's just the timing of it, because Memorial Day is like, it's the start of summer, and that's what let's be honest, that's a lot of people when they celebrate Memorial Day. It's about the start of summer. It's about having barbecues, pool parties, kind of the same thing as 4th of July.
Yeah.
Veterans Day is like in November. All it marks is the start of Thanksgiving almost being here.
Yeah.
That's all it really marks. So it kind of just gets shuffled to the back.
Yeah, it does seem like that Thanksgiving is the kind of like when Veterans Day comes around, there's that kind of like, really? We're all just kind of on this big push because Thanksgiving is kind of the beginning of not showing up to work and the Christmas kind of season thing going on.
Yeah, it's sort of it feels crammed in.
Do you remember how Veterans Day was celebrated lesser or more so prior to the war in Iraq? Do you know? Like
That's a good question.
I wonder if the sentiment regarding a war and its validity or popularity somehow impacts the celebration of Veterans Day.
What was the first Veterans Day? I guess that's a good question.
It was for survivors of the Cola Wars.
Okay.
Oh. So
I remember seeing like a hobbled RC Cola veteran come in, and they just 3 of the 4 limbs were just gone because they did not survive in any way. Jolt came out of there just firing like a rocket. He's got a lot of energy. Then there was proud Coca-Cola, just standing tall. He had his breast full of medals. He had like the oak leaves on his shoulder and just stood there and had the big pipe. He looked like McCarthy and snivelly little Pepsi.
Well, then you had
he's like that little weak little spy, just Pepsi there. He's pulling the strings. He does a lot of work, but Pepsi's just behind the scenes. It's just I hate that guy.
Then there's Dr. Pepper, which is sort of neutral. They're just there to administer aid to the fallen.
Medic.
Yes.
Dr. Pepper came in and it was just sometimes it was maudlin, sometimes it was funny, and it was just like the mash of colas, quasi colas.
With that, we go to our halftime and invite you to enjoy other verbal hijinks that we perform out on the website, MountRushmorePodcast.com. A winner of the Spam Awards.
Yes, the Spammies.
We will soon be launching a visual version of this podcast, and at that time you'll see that although Michael and Richard live in Los Angeles, they live somehow in 2 different time zones in Los Angeles where it's dark.
Yeah, I actually live in a space-time continuum.
Yeah.
So I'm recording this right now. I'm recording this right now, but yet I have also had recorded this a week in advance.
Oh wow!
So I'm not sure how it works out, but yeah.
Schrodinger's podcast or Occam's Razor's podcast. All right, so Winfield, what's your second tier?
Okay, my third, working up the chain, is Black Friday.
Oh wow!
Ooh.
Where it's kind of, I think it exemplifies another thing. I was really thinking of what is very American, and it's just this day of gluttony, but right after a day of gluttony. It's a day where right after Thanksgiving, just millions of Americans go out to spend what little money they have on deals and marked down goods and things that, you can buy a new, high def, TV that's $399 this week. When they just kind of marked it up to $399 maybe a month before, and you didn't notice.
Mm-hmm.
Like all these little things that they just try to get you with. It's just such a sucker's holiday, and people treat it like a holiday. People leave Thanksgiving early to go to midnight sales for this holiday this thing that's built because you already have the day off. I think that's the thing is like we all have Thanksgiving off and we have the day after Thanksgiving off. And what are you going to do on the day after Thanksgiving? Well, maybe continue to spend it with, no, you don't spend it with family. You go to the mall and you dump a bunch of money into stores and things.
This is the most like a poetry slam you've ever been on this podcast. I feel like you unlocked this intense
food, goods, services. I suddenly turned into Mike Myers and so
I'm Marion. I totally agree, and it's the holiday industrial complex cranking up, and the
only thing it's really missing is like Hallmark cards for Black Friday.
Yeah,
like, happy Black Friday instead of buying you something, I bought you this card that you don't want. Oh,
and in a way, it's almost like
into.
Shirley Jackson, the lottery, or the whacking day on The Simpsons, where you see so many fights and things in Walmarts and Best Buys. So there's a brutality to it. It's like the Hunger Games.
Back in 2000, I guess 14 or so, Emily and I were in the midst of like wedding shopping. We were married in April of the next year of 2015, but it was like, okay, well, what if we went out and what kind of deals can we get for the wedding? And I was looking for like wedding shoes, 6 months in advance. That was the worst idea we ever had, was going out shopping on Black Friday to try and find. I came away with nothing. I got stuck at the Topanga Mall, the Topanga Canyon Mall, just like stuck trying to park the car for 40 minutes, just feeling miserable. And I think ever since then we just vowed, let's just never be around people like this on this sort of day again. So
yeah, you got to have that. For me, it's big box stores on Black Friday or Costco anytime.
Yes.
Yeah.
Costco is like Black Friday, but just more conveniently any time of day.
Yeah.
Any day.
All right, Richard, you're third. Richard the third.
My third choice is something that may be even more American than Black Friday. That would be Super Bowl Sunday.
Oh, wow.
Good one.
Okay. An unofficial holiday, to be fair, but one that is observed probably more so than almost any other holiday here in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
I was writing down my notes. Instead of writing Super Bowl Sunday, I started typing "Good one, Richard."
Nice. Super Bowl Sunday, which leads to Super Bowl Hangover Monday, which is why that I think most look, if you're a business and you have you give floating holidays during the year, just take the day after the Super Bowl off. Just don't make your workers come in that day, because there is zero productivity happening. Because everyone's tired and hungover and they stayed up to watch the game and they ate too much crappy food, and just no one's getting work done. So why are we open the Monday after the Super Bowl? Why are our businesses trying to operate? It's a fallacy.
Yeah.
I had the experience. I may have told this on the podcast. I attended a Super Bowl party and got really sick with the flu while I was at the party and had to leave like early. Had like a fever and just was not feeling good. Picked up the phone to call in sick the next day, and as I'm dialing, I realized, oh shit, they're going to think that I'm just hungover from the Super Bowl and I'm calling out sick because of that. So I get my boss's answering machine message, and of course I do the over-explaining thing at that point, which really sounds suspicious. Hey, I'm just calling to let you know I'm not coming in. I've got a flu, got a fever, and stomach issues, and I just want to let you know this isn't because I was partying at the Super Bowl party last night. Ha 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 ha. Anyway, I'll be around, but in bed because I'm actually sick. Okay, bye. That was one of the worst calling in sick memories I could ever have.
One thing I observed as when I was in Angelino is half the people are watching the commercials and saying, "Yeah, I read for that. I almost got that part."
Right.
That's when you see a lot of actors go, "Oh, damn, I could have had that. Could have had that."
I have a ton of like great Super Bowl party memories. Like
Yeah.
it's one of those weird things where like I don't know, kind of some Christmases with the family come and go, but man, do I remember like eating chicken off the floor at Scott's place.
Was that the Seattle Super Bowl where you were
Yeah, I got
perhaps
way too much.
overserved?
I overserved myself.
Yes.
You're inside someone else's house. I might have spent the night. I don't know. But like I remember going to just a ton of fun, just like I don't know, it's so unique. I think it's so unique because it serves so many different masters. It is this culmination of this, 4 or 5 month sporting season that really the season itself, each week is a tiny little celebration. Happens, for the most part. Take away the Monday night football or Thursday night games. It's the sport happens once a week. And you go in, you have like these Sunday games and they're done. And then it leads up and builds up to this big, everything gets narrowed down, and then it's this super. I mean, obviously masterful programming and what's the word? Just the concept behind it, and
Yeah.
then they managed to filter in the Super Bowl halftime show, which is an event all into itself within it, and then over the last 30, 40 years, like the commercial aspects to it, where you're not just watching the game, you're invested in the overproduced commercials, and then you're invested in the halftime show, and then now there's just all this dialogue. It's just this thing that has been so brilliantly put together to capture everyone's interest. At some point you're going to see like a commercial for a new Star Wars movie or a new superhero movie or whatever, or a Chester the Cheetah is going to do something interesting for the first time in 3 years. But like it's all on that one day. They've all crammed it all into this one like 6 hour block of sitting around and
Right.
watching
Mhm.
television. Plus also you're standing around grilling, or you're standing around with friends and eating and seeing people, friends of friends that you haven't seen. I don't know. It's different than like a God, Richard, I'm just falling in love with your choice. It's different. It's different than like a family thing, right? It's a friend's holiday.
Yeah.
It's like I've probably seen the Super Bowl in the last 20 years, maybe 4 or 5 times with my dad or whatever. But I have seen it a lot of times with just like my best friends.
And how much of it is actually seeing the Super Bowl versus being with your friends and the Super Bowl happens to be on and you kind of look at it as
Yeah.
there's a big play happening or if it's a close game. I remember the Patriots Falcons Super Bowl, the 28-3 game. I was over at a friend's house and everyone pretty much left because the Patriots were down 28-3 and everyone's like, "Oh, this game's over. Let's go out back and play darts or whatever."
Yeah.
And then they had like a little TV up and it was like, "Wait, it's 28. 28-10. Okay. 28-17. Interesting. 28-21. Or 24. What is going on?" Then everyone like ran back in to see the end of the game.
The way you describe it, it does have a lot of seems like elements of other first tier holidays in it. Like it almost seems like it could be a New Year's Day thing,
Mm-hmm.
or
Mm.
it almost
Sorry, Easter, you're getting bumped down.
has plenty of spectacle to it. But yeah. Sorry, Easter. There's a bigger resurrection that has happened. So that's pretty cool. I think the aspects of the Olympics, like it's like all the spectacle of the Olympics, but in an afternoon and not
Yeah,
over
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
good
a
point.
week. Okay, Winfield, your last one is what?
My last choice is Cinco de Mayo.
Oh wow. Okay.
Nice.
All
I
right.
love the idea of an imported American holiday, one that um, celebrates a culture from abroad, but kind of twisted into like the American version of it. I mean, I think that's what America kind of has always done well, as we've or we used to, or whatever, was like we're this nation of like immigrants, but boy, with Cinco de Mayo, time to get messed up on margaritas, and that's what it's turned into. Like this thing where it's like, okay, well, I'm going to recognize a culture vaguely.
I should. This is where I should
through their alcohol consumption.
This is where I should point out my last pick. My last pick is St. Patrick's Day. Okay. So I think we're making the same pick for the same reasons. Both are basically drinking holidays that we've managed to wrap around some sort of cultural event to kind of make us feel better about it somehow.
I'm going to make a connection to last week. Last week, your fourth pick was also the Shamrock Shake. So I think that there is something that you're definitely keying in on.
Yeah, and ironically, I'm not a big St. Patrick's Day person. It's much like Cinco de Mayo. It's an amateur drinking holiday. Yeah. It's when everyone gets together. It's like, or the night before Thanksgiving, I guess, is like a big one because people are back in their hometowns. They'll all go out to the bar. It's just like everyone getting sloppy drunk who doesn't normally get sloppy drunk, and just people, puking in the bathrooms. And no, I don't need that. I'd rather go out on a quiet Thursday night with a couple of my friends. If I want margs, I'll go to, a good Mexican restaurant and get margs and enjoy some chips and salsa in peace and quiet.
Mm-hmm. I will say this about Cinco de Mayo over St. Patrick's Day. At least you might get some good food.
That's true. What, you don't like corned beef hash?
I think that your options are limited, but I think that most places, there can be a passable celebration of Mexican food heritage followed by Mexican drink heritage. We haven't even talked about like why some of these celebrations are happening, which I think is funny, and I think speaks to what is important about like these holidays. It's not necessarily celebrating a specific thing, but it's such a gathering of people to celebrate anything, just to be around other people in sometimes a vaguely or overly racist way. But then again, whatever.
What's funny is like they all seem to have alcohol consumption built into them, except for like maybe Earth Day. I guess Groundhog Day we're not slamming.
Well, it's freezing cold at 7 a.m. I believe there are some Irish coffees being drank.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go with just because it was very kind of evocative. I want to go with Black Friday because it was a weird one, and Cinco because I came out of nowhere and made me want to eat a chip. And then hell yeah, veterans deserve to be acknowledged. And so let's go with that. And then Super Bowl Sunday because of the kind of interesting texture there. And I would have never thought of that as a holiday, but it's a celebration. That's a big one. So thank you, dudes. This has been the Mount Rushmore of second tier holiday celebrations. I'm always Jeff.
I'm Richard.
I'm Michael.
Thank you, Mike.